Welcome, all you beautiful souls, to your weekly energy update. And this is for October 16th through October 23rd. Of course, these are timeless too. So whenever you come across these, if your intuition brought you here, I'd still watch the video because obviously it brought you here for a reason, right? But if you are watching this during that period, woohoo! October 18th, Mercury is officially out of its post shadow and direct and moving forward. So we should see some more fluidity in our communication and also in our electronics and different things like that. So we had a wonderful journey through that, but we're ready for it to be going forward for sure. Now, Pluto is still in its post shadow. So we have that death and rebirth and transformational energy still going on that we're reflecting on what we learned during the Pluto period. If you want to check out a video from a couple weeks ago that actually had to do with what we learned during the Pluto retrograde. And then Saturn is now going to be going out of its retrograde into its post shadow on October 23rd. So if you aren't familiar with those words, before a planet goes retrograde, where Earth, kind of moves where it appears, a planet is going in reverse, it goes into a pre-shadow period where it starts to slow and it starts to head towards moving backwards in degrees in comparison to Earth. And then it goes into its retrograde where it's really the strong energy of it. You start to feel it in the pre-shadow, but the retrograde is when the energy is the strongest, turning us inward with whatever planet it is to reflect on things. And then when it starts to slow the backward move and start headed back to where it's going to go direct, that's called the post-shadow period. And that's the period where we do the reflection on what we learned as we went through the retrograde for that planet. So Saturn, of course, is all about challenging our beliefs about life, and it kind of rattles our cage and, what's going on? What is this? Does this belief really fit in anymore for you? And that type of thing. So we've got both Pluto and Saturn, death and rebirth, and challenging our beliefs, all in post-shadow, all in this reflective period that starts up. So it's kind of like, questioning huge beliefs in our lives during this period. Our cage was rattled during the Pluto and Saturn retrogrades, and now we're reflecting on, okay, what was rattled and what are we going to do with that information? It's like, is the world ready for unorganized religion? Is it shaking it up? Are we ready to return where unconditional love is our core belief instead of all the rules and everything that we put around love? So a very beautiful reflection period. So for this video, we're going to be asking Creator and Spirit, what inner revelation did Saturn shake out of its retrograde? And then also Saturn is great because it not only is a taskmaster. If you do the work and question your beliefs and the old ways of doing things, there's also a reward that comes with it. So in addition to what inner revelation did it shake out, we're also going to ask what reward is coming. So we'll see what Spirit has to say. Of course, we are going to pull cards for each individual zodiac sign, and we're going to start into yours right now. All right, Tauruses, this is your weekly energy update, and we're going to start off here by pulling a card from the Into the Lonely Woods deck. Now, all the cards I use in a reading, I do list in the description box below, so if any of them catch your eye and you want them for yourself, you know where you can pick those up. And we're going to use this deck to really focus into that inner revelation that the Saturn retrograde brought your way, and see what they want you to know. So for all our Taurians, all our Tauruses, what would you like them to know? What did they inner revelation pop up or to be aware of that came up during this retrograde? Okay, they want this one right here. And you've got when all seems ended. Nice card there. And it's card number 28. We'll put this one down here. And let's see what message comes with that for you. It says we sculpt our lives until its shape is familiar, and we create patterns and stories and rituals around these shapes, all of which make up the beautiful moments of our days. We have a whole world, and yet sometimes that world, through no decision we have made, comes to its ending. And it is this moment for you. All that once will soon be the past. What is no longer is what was. And that kingdom that was is no more. Yet you are still standing. In truth, every living being is always in flux and change. Beneath the surface, at a deep level, the world keeps moving through her cycles. To live is to change. So take a moment to look upon what once was, to let it go, to give it honor, to say goodbye, and then to slowly stumble into the mysterious unknown, which holds what will become the beautiful future. Wow. So I really feel like this Saturn retrograde really shook your world and shook your cage. There was endings that happened in the past or recently that just really, you had to face it. You really had it brought to your face for you to look at and question the fears you had around it, the stories that you have around it, the emotions you were feeling around it. And I feel like there was a great bit of progress and reflection that you did. I mean, it was a really raw, emotions that you really looked over and faced. So I love that for you, because in doing that, it did release a lot of the fire, a lot of the chargedness around the emotions, and allowed them not to be such a impact to your daily lives. We're also going to pull here from the Oracle of the Unicorns and see what else that they would like to add into this ending that happened, and where you felt like you had no control over it at all. Obviously someone passing or someone leaving, other people's choices. We have no control over those, even though sometimes we think we do, we don't. And sometimes that can make us really feel just like a fish out of water, just out of control and helpless in some ways. All right, so let's see here. What else would you like our Tauruses, our Taurians, to know about this ending, around this, facing these raw emotions? What would you like them to know, please? Okay. I do want this one right there. Yeah. There's the magic in the unknown, right? That I was talking about. And it says, make a wish, believe in miracles, magic surrounds you. Yeah, you're not alone. Definitely not. And let's take a look here, see what else they want to add. It says the unicorns and fairies have come together to remind you of your connection with magical beings. They invite you to ask for their combined support. A situation in your life may need an extra dash of fairy dust and a beam of unicorn light to help it to resolve quickly and easily. Perhaps you have become lost in the outer world of logic and need to remember the power of magic and miracles that comes from within. Or this may simply be a joyful invitation to make a wish and know that you are surrounded by magic at this time. Call on the fairies and unicorns to remind you, to guide you, and to help bring about an even higher outcome. Ask them to show you unmistakable signs that they are with you, and spend time out in nature speaking with them. Call on them as a team, knowing that the lightness and fun of the fairies is the perfect complement to the loving energy of the unicorns. They whisper in your ear, make a wish and believe it is already so. Believe in us. believe in magic now and always. I love that. So it feels like, they are coming in to help you with, the time of mourning, the time of the dark side of the pond. It's time to move to the light, to move your energy, to transform your energy. And I feel that's what you were working on during the Saturn, retrograde. It was shaking up things, but it was allowing you to really, like I said, face those raw emotions, put the healing salve on it, get to the root of things so that you can move over into this lighter side, and you're like being escorted by the fairies and unicorns, into this more joyful and bright side of the forest. We're also going to use the Tarot of Dragons, and we'll also pull a fortune cookie here to end the reading. But let's take a look here. Okay, you already got 2 cards there. What they would like you to know else about this transformation from the dark to the light. One more. Okay, I do want to that one. All right, what else for our Taurians, please? All right, so these are the ones here. Let's move these over, and we'll start with this one here. Yeah, you have the Emperor. Beautiful. So the Emperor has very strong divine masculine energy, whether we're male or female or how we identify. We all have the divine masculine energy within us, as well as the divine feminine. But this is the energy of taking charge of your life. Like, there's so many movies where people have suffered loss, right? And they either, are drinking, or they're just so depressed and their house is a mess, and they got, delivery food all over the place and bottles, and they haven't taken a shower in weeks and all that kind of stuff. And then something triggers, and they get up and they shower and they take back their life because the mourning period is over. That's what I feel like is happening here. The Saturn retrograde activated that within you, and you either did it or you're on the verge of having that happen as you're going into the post shadow, where you're looking and reflecting on all of this that you've learned and gleaned, and you're ready to put the power back in your life. And then you have the Five of Swords. Yeah, Five of Swords. Swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, and attitudes. And there's these, like a conflict energy that starts off in here. But fives are all about movement and change. And so the Five of Swords is this change of feeling like you have to prove that your small t truths that are rooted in the fear of losing conditional love are more truer than someone else's small t truths. So all those expectations of the supposed to, the should, the need to, and the have to, that's where all this battling comes in. No, you're supposed to do this. No, you're supposed to do this. Or you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do that. But this change happens as you connect to the higher realms. You connect to those capital T truths that are rooted in the unconditional love of the higher realms, seeing things from a different perspective and focusing in on that. You care less about obeying all those expectations and whether people obey, your expectations or theirs or whatever. You become less motivated by all that outside expectation stuff, because that's what huge losses do in our lives. It really shows us what's important and what's not. We tend to conserve and simplify our life and get rid of all the pressure of stuff and really simplify. And I kind of feel like that is what's happening with all this too. And then you have the Ace. Okay, so the Ace of Swords, which you use to connect to the capital T truths of the higher realm and cut away the small t truths. So yeah, this is definitely just reiterating what I was just saying. So I don't need to repeat all that to you. It is about you connecting to those higher truths rooted in unconditional love. And you have the King of Wands. Now, King of Wands, so it says Sire of Wands here, but it's the King of Wands in the Standard Tarot. Wands is your drive, ambition, inspiration, and passion. So you definitely have it reigniting within you. Energy that you didn't have before is returning back to you because you're not investing that energy in maintaining those old emotions and that battles anymore. But it also represents your spiritual energy, and it represents the highest spiritual energy that you can achieve, which is connecting to your higher self. So definitely with these work so well together, and about you are really spending time understanding that you're so much more than just this human character, but you're this actor behind the character, a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being that is made of unconditional love, so much more powerful than you've ever been taught to believe here. And then you have the Four of Wands. So a lot of beautiful fire energy. Fours are stable, and so your energy is stabilized during this time. Because think of a four as like a table with four huge legs on it. It's a very solid foundation. So where your energy might have felt up and down and all over the place before, with this foundation that you're having now, it is a very stabilized, strong, steady energy to where you just feel this wonderful, wonderful calm that comes in too. And it just feels like, I don't know why they're saying it feels like home for some reason, but it feels like home. It feels safe. It feels warm and just beautiful. I love it. And then you have the Page of Cups. So Page of Cups, they are offering you that beautiful, beautiful holy grail. So it's new love, new emotion that's coming in, making sense as you connect more to the higher realms. You do get the big doses of that unconditional love from above. And you can even see here how they're tapping on the pond, and they're seeing the reflection of themselves in the water. So you are seeing more and more as you connect to this, of who you really are, of the truth, of that beautiful, beautiful love from above that does absolutely feel magical. So definitely there's this movement out from the dark to the light, the dark side of the pond to the light side of the pond, moving from this place of mourning to a place of on your way to celebrating, on a place to where you feel magical and lively again, instead of like a zombie that you're walking around. And your final card that's going to come here is a fortune cookie. So we'll take a look here and see what the final message that Creator and Spirit has for all you Taurians. So what is your final message for our Tauruses? Whoa, okay. And you got commitment. Yeah, I love that. It says a commitment is indicated around love or business. It will make you feel better. And I when I saw that, I immediately thought you're committing to yourself. You're committing to ending the mourning and beginning this. And what I mean by that is we absolutely are here to experience all our emotions. And there's absolutely a time that we want to experience mourning. But they're reminding me of the movie Dances with Wolves with Kevin Costner, and where he was like a cavalry person and he fell in love with a Native American woman of a tribe, and she had lost her husband and she was in a period of mourning. But they set a specific time instead of just having an open-ended one where you're going to mourn until you don't. They're like, you're going to mourn for a year or something like that, and then that last day, that's it. The mourning ends and the decision is made. And I feel like it's a commitment that happens here where you commit to mourn for a certain period of time, and you set a date to go, I'm going to mourn up to this point, and after that we're moving into magic. So I love that for you, because it is going to be able to set you free and allows you to really focus on mourning and letting whatever it is that you are trying to feel, letting it flow and getting to the root of it, and knowing that, you have a certain period of time that you're giving yourself to get to the bottom of it, and then you can release and move into this new, beautiful experience that's happening next in this light and magical side of the forest. So I love that for you guys. If you are looking for more messages of love from above, in addition to these weekly energy updates, I also put out monthly readings for each individual zodiac sign and a few other types of videos throughout the month. And if you don't want to miss out on any of those and get a notification immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up by clicking the like button, and then also by clicking the subscribe button, you're given access to the notification bell. And when you go in there, you're going to have the option for all. If you select it, then you'll be notified of any new videos that come out on this channel, as well as when I go live on YouTube providing free readings. I know, I started going live every single day to provide free readings, Sunday through Friday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time in the evening. Saturdays, I do bump it an hour later to 8 p.m. Mountain, because I also go on Instagram on Saturdays at 5 p.m. to give live readings. And then on Friday and Saturday morning, it's 11 a.m., Sundays 10 a.m. So if you haven't stopped by to say hi and to check it out, I'd love to see you. And also, doing those things I mentioned helps spread the Zen love, and it helps my channel grow in significant ways, because when you like or share one of my videos, comment on one of my videos, subscribe to my channel, doing those things makes the YouTube algorithm so crazy excited. It wants to automatically share the videos of my channel with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of those things, please know I'm very, very grateful for that. These also are general readings, and if you're looking for more information and answers for your specific life, I do offer personal readings. All that information is listed in the description box of this video below. All right, Taurians, as you go throughout this week, please know that every single second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things. And of course, I love you too. You have an amazing week. We'll be talking soon, but in the meantime, you hang in there and you take care.